what will be this advice that you would give to those girls that now needs this help to give this first step?
Most of the times, I feel that girls do not feel confident in the STEM industry. They always have a question about themselves. They feel that they may not, they are not up to the mark. They may not do good with technology. This is a myth that has been stuffed upon girls. So that needs to be broken. So I am so happy that the girls will actually grab inspiration from all of them and would feel confident, because if you are confident, you can rule the world.
She is the Dr. Srimati Kesan, the founder of an aerospace startup, Space Kids India, that has launched Shaktisat, a global mission to train about 12,000 girls across 108 countries on space technology. She is a woman leader in STEM who shared with us her inspirational story, full of resilience and passions, transforming from an early life as a homemaker into a globally recognized leader in space exploration. So Dr. Kesan is here to share her insights on empowering the next generation, bridging gender gap in space science, and the power of community support. So please grab a cup of coffee or tea and get ready to be inspired by this conversation full of practical insights on leadership, on growth, and making a lasting impact. So welcome to the Brilliantly Branded podcast.
So welcome to another episode of the Brilliantly Branded podcast, which my main purpose is women empowerment through the lens of branding. Lately, I have been supporting women in STEM specifically because I found that there's a necessity to support that industry. So I have been delivering capsules, and now today, my guest is a woman, very inspirational woman that are coming from the space industry. I think it's very important to bring all industries. And today I brought a person that is the creator of a mission. This mission is the mission Shaktisat. If I pronounce well, I will let her to let us know that later on. So I brought, and our guest today is the Dr. Srimati Kesan. We are going to have, the main topic is inspiring and empowering the next generation of girls in space science through this mission that is fostering learning, growth, and leadership in STEM. So the first thing is welcome Dr. Kesan to our podcast.
And Namaste. This is from India.
Namaste. And to start off, can you introduce yourself and share a bit about your journey and about how did you path in life led to working in such a very inspiring mission?
Sure. Well, this is Dr. Srimati Kesan, founder CEO Space Kids India. Started off the journey a decade plus ago, I should say, in 2010. Before which, 18 years, I was a homemaker. I got married at a very early age of 18, wherein I was an all-rounder. I was a national basketball player, a state athlete, a paratrooper, an all India silver medalist in firing, and so on, dance, debates, and everything. In fact, I was chosen to be getting into the armed forces, the Indian Armed Forces, because I was the first girl cadet to hold the sword and, lead the parade. So this was very, very exciting for all the army officers. And they said, such girls have to be recruited in the Indian Army.
Oh, wow.
Destiny, My father picked up my wedding invitation and gave it to him. He was shocked. The general was shocked and he said, what are you doing? But I think that's what is fit. So from there on, from sword in India, when you make pancakes, you use spatula. So straight away from sword, the same day, I left from one city to another city. That's Hyderabad to Chennai to get married and jump into spatula. So life took a total 360 degree, I should say. And it was home, and I gave birth to a beautiful daughter immediately at the age of 20. And she was my Barbie, I should say. So I played with her. I don't know, it was a doll or it was a baby. So we grew up together. But while growing up, there was always this, fire within me that there is some purpose for my birth. There is some purpose for all these incidences in my life to happen. In fact, you wouldn't believe at the age of 22, I had a tumor and I was almost going to
Oh,
kick the bucket.
wow.
Yeah. But then God didn't do that, which means to say, again, He's reiterating that this purpose, this life of mine is for some purpose. So if not for the armed forces, I am going to be doing something for the future generation. And that is more important rather than standing there on the icy mountains and protecting your country. Because the future generation needs people to push them, to be there behind them, to teach them, to navigate them. So I am so happy after 18 years of sabbatical after my wedding, one angel came and she just pulled my hand and she took me to Miami, and that's where everything started. I got to see the presentation of NASA. And, you seldom do that because you see that only in textbooks here in India, at least. So when I did that, I was fascinated that I want to do something for the children in the space industry. And that's where it all started. And getting back to India, there was no going back. Space Kids India was started.
Wow, that is an amazing story. I think it's so passionate, and I love your energy and how you are, telling the story that really making me feel like I am already, I am enjoying your story. And how did you decide, and the life have been showing you how to start this path, how to actually getting passionate about what you are doing right now, and a strong purpose behind. So part of the things, it was creating this so powerful initiative. My question is if you can explain us what this mission is all about and what make that unique, because it's part of your purpose is already embedded in the mission. So how have you been building, and how that make that unique?
It's a great question. I always felt that women in STEM, I keep reading when I travel, when I interact, we still have that huge gap, in multiple industries. In space industry, it's even more, it's not only India per se, but entire globally, it's only about 20% of the women are there on the top in the space industry. How are we going to bridge this gap? Moving forward, if this is going to be the same, there's going to be a huge imbalance. And we need women. Women are multitaskers. So we need them in every industry. And this industry in particular requires not only technical expertise, but financial expertise. They should know, strategies, how to build this whole mission and everything. That's the reason year last for the 75th Indian independence, I thought we should do something different for our country. And our country is made up of a lot of villages. And I said, we must bring the girls from these rural areas and put them in the main front, give them the exposure of space industry, build a spacecraft for the country. And that's where it all started. So I built a mission called Azadi Sat for the 75th Indian independence with 750 rural girls from Jammu Kashmir to Kanyakumari. This was an exciting journey, and it is irritating, but I can't help to say this. Again, due to COVID, I was on the ventilator. So again, I had a battle to life. But then that's where I actually designed this whole concept. With the ventilator, I was designing the concept, and I was explaining to the director of Indian Space Research Organization. They felt I was crazy They said, come out of the hospital, you can do all this. I said, no, I'm not going to kick the bucket. I know I've been made for this purpose. So let me start working. This is just a temporary, probably a relaxation. So I was in the hospital doing that, came out, built the spacecraft, and we launched it through the small satellite launch vehicle, the new launch vehicle of India. It was a super success, February 12th, 2023. And then, subsequently what happened, there was something within me that, kept pushing me to do things a lot for girl children and women. I kept doing this for a while, but this mission in particular pushed me even harder. And that is where I said, India is a hub for education from ancient times. And we believe one earth, one universe, one family. So why should I restrict this knowledge of space within my country? I have to give it to the entire world. Bring in 108 countries together. 108 children from each country, which is close to 12,000. Yeah. Educate them with satellite nuances. Then bring in these children to India, build this spacecraft, launch it to the lunar orbit. Because everybody loves moon. And girls are always, at least in India, people say that, if they have to appreciate a woman, they say, oh, you look like a moon. And they sing songs, to her about moon. So it's very beautiful. And whenever we see moon, girl children should always feel that I can go there. Nothing is impossible. So that is the reason I thought we should build this mission called Shakti Sat. Shakti is power. And to bring power, the women can go to any extent to build peace. So that is the tagline. Shakti Sat, Mission Shakti Sat, peace and power.
Wow, that is incredible. That is incredible. Your passion is like it's filling me with passion as well, and wanted to ask you many things because have those numbers. I mean, 108 countries and 12,000 girls that you are going to empower. I mean, this is your goal, right? Or this is what you have?
That's
okay,
right.
Well, this is already putting the bar so high in the sense that, wow, this is what we need, people that really make a huge impact. And basically doing that, the launching this satellite and empowering girls at the same time, this is a huge challenge. You are telling us and letting us see the tip of the iceberg, but actually I will love you to share with us in all this process which ones have been the top part of that in the facing process of really doing all this process to empowering the girls and to building this mission.
Well, to start with, these are going to be for high school students. So I cannot get into a country and, bring in high school students or enroll high school students just like that. So what I thought, we need to have a woman leader, a woman ambassador from each country. So 108 countries will have 108 women leaders. So they can be from any industry. If they are from space industry, well and good. Education, good. Engineer, even good. Entrepreneur, super. And a supermodel, even good. So this is where we are trying to identify women ambassadors from different countries. And this momentum has started for the last 2 months. And in 2 months, grace of God, we have been able to identify 50 countries. And Luxembourg, I love you girls. I mean, you've been so good. Alexandra was the one who put me through to you, and you are awesome, my dear. I can't tell you. Immediately you wanted to, this is sisterhood. people say two women with same, intellect or same, what do I say, same industry or cannot go together. But I want to say that's wrong. I want to prove that's wrong. We are all together. We're all sisters from different places, and see how beautifully we are able to stand by for each other.
Yeah.
It was very emotional because you are such an iconic woman in globally. You are recognized globally, and I am sitting here in India in a small teeny weeny part, with this burning desire to bring the whole world together. But universe has connected us, and that universe is Alexandra to bring us all together like this. And today I'm here with you. So this is how we want to connect 108 beautiful women, and subsequently they will identify 108 children from their countries. And this will predominantly be humble children from public schools and everything, because for them, this is big. And the education that we are going to be imparting is going to be online for 120 hours initially.
Okay, that is beautiful.
So this 120 hours is going to be educating them in multiple things like, basic physics, math, and ham radio structures, how to retrieve data, electronics, everything about a spacecraft.
That is important. That is important. I have a question. Why 108? Why this number specifically? Do you have any reasons?
Yes, in the ancient Indian scriptures, 108 is supposed to be the number for all uniqueness in education.
Okay.
And not only education, but it connects us to the universe.
Okay.
So that is why I thought, when we are connecting education globally, and that too with girls, I think we need to have an iconic number also.
Yeah, and change the numbers as well, no, with women, because I have been research about that, and UN numbers are showing basically that it's just the 11% of astronauts that are women.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So that is an amazing number, because you say, well, how we can really increase that number? Maybe we can do something about that. And you are doing something very, very specific. And I'm so glad to hearing all the details about the program and all the things that you are doing, because this is something creating this impact. And not only that, but what you mentioned about how women can work together and can support each other. This is sisterhood, as you well said, and this is part of my purposes as well. And this is what I am trying all the time, to bring people to have that voice, and supporting women and empowering women around. And part of my other questions actually is, how are you creating, for example, more opportunities for women in aerospace right now?
In India, we are the only organization who've done about 27 space missions.
Oh, wow.
And in fact, if I have to tell you, globally also, I think I will be the only woman founder who has done this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So for a decade ago, and I'm doing this, and I go to the corner of the country, every corner of the country, and create that awareness for girls and for children to build spacecrafts, to get into this industry, to become an astronaut, to become a fighter pilot, so give them the various options, career options.
Yeah. Wow, that is beautiful, and it's very clear purpose. And I'm curious about, how do you see that the mission ShaktiSat is going to arrive to Europe, and what kind of impact do you think this project can have in the space industry here in Europe?
Probably destiny is a very beautiful thing, if I have to tell you. You know what? I was given the ambassador status initially to NASA space camps. Then subsequently, I moved to ESA. So I brought in children to the European Space Agency and then to the Russian Space Agency too. So maybe God prepared me for that, to be, bringing together globally, children globally. So I understand, how it works in Europe. Children are excited about space. So that's the reason you can see so many children going to European Space Agency. But then to actually launch a spacecraft by children, not many have done. So this is a big opportunity. People everywhere I have seen speak about, these startups. Now is the startup culture that is growing. But initially it was like, you need to be a rocket scientist to build a rocket. You need to be a satellite scientist to build a satellite. So never it was brought down to pieces to high school students. See, anything, if you catch them young, they're bold, they can think out of the box, and they are our future. See, because this concept initially, I wanted to share it with Elon Musk, because he was supposed to come to India. And the previous night, I was putting this concept together to share it with him, because when I started going to NASA, taking children for the space camps, SpaceX started their, office there at the launch pad. So it was close that, and people would say that, SpaceX has done so much. So I would say, yes, SpaceX is for the rest of the world. SpaceX is for America. Space Kids India is for the rest of the world.
I love that. I have it clear.
And not only that, Elon Musk is building for the future. And I wish to build the future.
Okay.
There is a huge difference, commercial angle and social angle. But if everybody comes together, we can bridge this gap. We can build something so much for the future. So this is how it is. And I'm very sure that the European Space Agency will join hands in a few days from now and support this moment. And I'm sure with lovely ladies like you to support, I think we can take this everywhere across.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Kesan. It's an honor for me to having you here, and especially to see that it's nothing stopping you to really make a change, make the impact. You are knocking doors, and I think that this is what we need to do all the time: believe in ourselves, and take the ownership on. Okay, I can do something, even if it is small. You are not doing anything small, but step by step, we are getting there. And this is as well my purpose, giving, adding value, showing all the women that wanted to come and talk about those stories that are really inspirational around. And part of the things that you mentioned is those girls, for example, that needs to feel inspired, but are still not very sure about how they can start in the industry of space or STEM, actually science or mathematics. So what will be this advice that you would give to those girls that now needs this help to give this first step?
Well, it is self-belief. Most of the times I feel that girls do not feel confident in the STEM industry. They always have a question about themselves. They feel that they may not, they are not up to the mark. They may not do good with technology. This is a myth that has been stuffed upon girls. So that needs to be broken. And missions like this, where we are going to be having the entire technical team also senior women. So everything of this is going to be women. So I am so happy that the girls will actually grab inspiration from all of them and would feel confident. Because if you are confident, you can rule the world.
True,
that's
agree.
very, very important. And women, if they are given power, there is going to be peace, because we do not want to fight. We love sisterhood. We love being brothers and sisters. So I think there is going to be no fights in the world. We don't need to worry about anti-satellite missions and all that. We can only be happy about good satellites and satellites that will be helpful for mankind. So this is going to be an iconic satellite in the sky, when you see the moon every day, you see, you know, you can.
That is amazing. Actually, having these role models like you actually is already
Like us.
inspiring girls, exactly. And this is what we want and what we need at the end. Because if we have these role models that are showing us the path, the way that we can take, I think that all the girls, all those women that are mothers and are showing this episode to their girls, that will make them feel inspired that you can do that. And it's beautiful what you show. When you see the moon, you just can think you can do that as well. So for me, this is amazing. The way that you are doing the things, your passion in this purpose, in this mission, and you just take actions that I think is one of the most important things in life, because you can say many things and you can probably try to do something, but really the difference is in showing up, in
Yeah.
get consistent in the things that you are doing. How many years have you been already spending on this?
Well, 7 years and 27 missions. No break. No break.
27 missions. Wow. That is incredible. That is, but how that missions works, just to give a little bit of context of the people that don't know about that.
Well, we have launched about 19 high altitude balloons. So the first step was in 2015 when I said the world needs to have children get into the space industry rather than just, going for space camps. We need to build something for space. So that's where I took the first step. I handpicked young children, about 7 of them, and we started working on satellite. So then people said, excuse me, satellite? 700, 800 crores of rupees a rocket costs. And you
Oh,
want to
wow.
put a satellite and do you want to blast it or something? No way. So you do something else. Then I was thinking, because I didn't want to take back, my step. So I said, okay, let me do something. Then I said, okay, let's work on high altitude balloons because that is not going to create a huge loss for anybody. And it is not that we've also gone back on our first step because that first step is very important for everybody. Once you feel that you cannot, for life, you cannot. So for
Of
me, that
course.
was very important. So we took the first step. We built that with so many challenges because we didn't have a prelude in India. Nobody had ever done that before. And that too with children and a woman, a non-technical woman. So it was challenge everywhere. Yet, you work hard, you build your strategies, you get it right. So we launched that and everybody went gaga. So no going back. From there, we moved on 3 suborbital flights. In fact, I have to tell you, we built the world's lightest and first ever 3D printed satellite. This is the
Oh,
one
wow.
to show you. This is the one, the 64 grams. And this is called the Kalam Sat. And this was launched by NASA's Terra Orion.
Oh, that is wonderful.
First Indian student satellite to go on a Terra Orion. And then subsequently, in fact, the one behind me, that is the satellite built by 750 girls, the Azadi Sat. So next time when we interact, I think we will be having the Shakti Sat.
Well, I hope that, and I know that you are going to do that. And that is the most important thing here is actually enhance and recognize the work that you have been doing that have been really impacting and changing in many ways, in a positive way, the world. Is the things that you are doing. So congratulations, Dr. Kesan, because I think this is for me, I am proud of you. I'm proud of what women are capable doing and how that is become a role model and inspiration. So just to start to wrap up, how do you think that people can get involved in this incredible mission, to support the mission and actually to continue empowering girls here in this side, in Europe as well, how we can involve on that?
I will be really grateful if this can, reach out to many people and they can come to us. We need an on board 58 more countries. So for which I need women ambassadors, women leaders, as I mentioned earlier, either from the space industry, engineers, educators, anybody who wish to lead their country. We want them to send their profile, a short profile and their headshot to us on our email. So we will then onboard them. And subsequently, a month later, we will request these ambassadors to handpick the girls, 108 girls from each of their countries.
Wow.
And then we will be sending the curriculum online.
Okay.
So it's going to be very simple, smooth, enjoyable. I don't want anybody to be taxed. They should enjoy this whole journey.
Yeah.
So one is to, bring the girls, bring women ambassadors. The other one is for funding again. So because this mission is going to cost close to 8 to 10, $10 million. So we need some philanthropists who can come forward for, this purpose, and even whatever, $10, $50, whatever they want to do. If they can support us, it's going to be speaking volumes.
Okay.
And our Excellency, our President of India is a woman, and she is extremely happy about this whole mission. And I think in the coming weeks, she's going to be unveiling the poster. So that is a huge confidence, because she, being the first citizen of the country, is so excited about this whole concept that women are coming together, girls are coming together, and this mission is going to be historic. So all of us hold our hands, do whatever little bit that we can do, and put this spacecraft in the lunar orbit. And I'm so thankful to our chairman of ISRO, Dr. Somnath, and Dr. Goenka from InSpace. They have all given me that confidence that, yes, we are all there,
Yeah, fantastic.
So that truly means a lot to us.
Well, that is truly mean a lot to me as well, because knowing your purpose and knowing what you want to achieve is very important. I really want to spread that voice across the podcast, the people that are listening, the people that think that they can collaborate, they can contact in you and or Alexandra, that is the person that is representing part of the Luxembourg environment. And I will just wishing you all the best. And from my side, what I can do related with that is spreading the voice and showing how a role model in the STEM industry, in the space industry, are doing things. I think this already generate a lot of impact. So I have to say thank you, Dr. Kesan, and I will invite people to contacting you and to get in contact with Alexandra as well. I will put all the information in the podcast, and I don't know if you want to add something else.
Well, I just want to add a huge thanks to you, because when I started, people mocked at me. They said, 12,000 is too much. You're just putting too much on your plate. But I would say, the universe, however difficult, however challenging things are, but if you decide that you want to do something good for the society, there will be beautiful women like you coming together to support, to help. So please don't be nervous or scared. Dream big. I want to tell this to all the young children. Dream as big as possible.
I love it.
It will happen. It will succeed.
Yeah. So namaste, Dr. Kesan. I just wishing you the best and hope to see you soon. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you so much. Take care. God bless.
Thank you.
I'm grateful by having you as a listener on this episode. I am in the mission of empowering thousands of women around the globe, and I need your support for that. help me to spread the voice by sharing this episode and subscribe to our social media channels. And remember, if you want to listen to exceptional stories and have someone that inspires you, please get in touch with me because I will love to have them as a guest to learn from their experience and share their story with you next time. So until the next episode, ciao ciao.